So I have been sick, and I've been trying not to bypass how I feel about getting sick, just allowing it to be, because there's always a purpose in it. And it has slowed me down even more, even when I didn't think, no, even when I thought that I didn't need slowing down, because I've been slowing down consciously and intentionally. But clearly I need to really, like, just put a halt to things. I'm assuming. I just saw 4848. So my sickness began with that tickle in the throat, and I took care of it in one day. But then I started to become very congested, as I am right now. Excuse me. And I also have this extreme pain in my neck. Literally, I know that's a saying, but I have this pain in my neck that I'm tending to with magnesium spray and castor oil. But every time I sleep, it comes back with a vengeance, so to speak. So I'm beginning to think that it may be my pillow. It has been over a year since I've changed my pillow, so I may need to buy a new one. I don't know. There's so many things that's going on. I'm going through the most intense awakening of my life right now, and I'm actually in a phase where I am witnessing my awakening, and it's different, it's really different. I've just been releasing so much, and with that release, it makes room for things, not things, like truth to be accepted and integrated into my being. And this is happening at a rapid rate and very profoundly for me. So my body is trying to catch up with my mind and my soul and my spirit, and I'm feeling it. I cut my fucking hair. I cut my hair. I cut off the 8 years of locks, and I left the new conjoined thicker locks. And right now I'm looking like the Cynthia doll. But I'm gonna get it together and get all cute. But after I cut my hair, which was actually a few hours ago, I took a nap. Like, I don't know if you used to get those infamous whoopings or had a crying session when you was a child that would put you to sleep and you wake up a new person. That's what happened to me. I cut my hair, and I started to feel a lot of bodily hair tingles, and I thought ants were crawling on me, because typically, because of where I reside, ants are always out and about, and they love to be all over me for some reason. And I just saw 3838 and 444, and it wasn't ants. It was my body. I could literally see my bodily hairs moving. So I know that me cutting my hair clearly awakened something. And then when I had the dreams that I had after cutting and taking that nap, it was like I was shifting between, I was like a bridge between timelines, so to speak. And it felt very comfortable. And I lost all track of time, even in the dream. But I knew I was dreaming. So I'm like going through it. And I'm witnessing people witnessing me go through changes. And I see 555. Oh my God. And you could tell they are astounded. I'm witnessing my own evolution in real time, and it's just so interesting. Anyway, I did some reflecting when I woke up, because I've been so many versions of myself, and clearly I have stepped into a new version of myself, and I'm excited to know who she is. But I noticed that when I reflected on the versions of who I've been, it was linked to my job positions, which is interesting because I don't view myself like that anymore. I don't attach myself to a job position. I'm just embodying who I am and presenting myself for who I am. But what I reflected on was my first job was a home health aide. And I got to take care of the sick in, I believe, every borough of New York City. I think I actually started off in Brooklyn, even though I lived in Harlem. And I actually began what I'm trying to say, Spirit help me. I was externalizing my survival mode because I didn't want to be on welfare. I wanted to earn my money, but that didn't mean I had to work in a borough that was far. That didn't mean I had to take every case that was offered to me, especially when I took the cases and realized that these people were a little crazy and disrespectful, etc. I didn't have to stay in places where I wasn't valued, appreciated, seen. But I did. And I did that for a long time. I started working in 2007. No, 2006. And I embodied survival mode when it comes to working up until 2020. That's a long time. It's a very long time. So I was a home health aide. And then I did that until I was so tired of what I was going through dealing with that. And then I was presented an opportunity to work as a security guard at Bloomberg's corporate office in Midtown, East Midtown. And I did that for 7 long years, and it was toxic as fuck. I worked with it was a heavily toxic patriarchy full of narcissistic men and power hungry men. But I learned a lot. I met some dope ass people. I grew in that era of my life. I started when I was about 23, I believe, and 2018 I was done. I was so done. I had a spiritual awakening in 2018 as well. So yeah, I did that, and I left by choice, and I left with nothing. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I wound up sleeping and resting heavily and just embracing life as it was from February of 2018 to June of 2018. And then I got a download when I had to go to unemployment, the office, and I saw they were offering a grant to become a medical assistant or a CNA, and I really didn't want to do medical assistance because I saw how a lot of them did a lot of paperwork, and paperwork is not my thing. So I said, let me do CNA, and I can build from there as to what it is that I would really like to do. And I did that. I got the grant. I did that. And my first CNA position was working with children. And I was so ecstatic because, first of all, I didn't even know that there were children that would be intended to by CNAs. I thought it was always adults, sick adults, elderly, more so. But in Brooklyn, they have a children's unit. And again, I was living in Harlem, but I was willing to do that because it was a phenomenal opportunity. Oh my God. I got $11.99. The pay was decent. And I love Brooklyn. Although I'm from Harlem, I really love Brooklyn. My roots are West Indian, so I was closer to that when it comes to food. And I just loved it. I loved the experience. So I do recall after I got that position and I went to do, lock myself into that position with the paperwork and everything, I had got a call from a friend at the time, and she was like, yo, what are you up to? And I said, well, actually, I'm so excited because I just officially got a job as a CNA and I'm going to be working with children. And there was an awkward silence. And that was when I realized, like, okay, here we go. Just when you think people are down for you, When it's time to clap for you, they not clapping for you. And I have the ability to process things very quickly when it's happening. And I realized, excuse me, she wasn't clapping for me because we spent years working together at the last job, which was the security job. And we worked together, and we used to talk about how we were trying to get out of that job and what we wanted to do. There was a point in time when we didn't even know what the fuck we wanted to do. And she wound up leaving before me because her mom had got her into a position at the hospital that she worked in. And what you call that? Nepotism. Nepotism. And I realized in a moment of her not clapping for me that she was witnessing me put in the work. She was witnessing me receiving the rewards of the work that I actually put in, that we were speaking so heavily on. Meanwhile, she just got a free ride. And I'm not judging her free ride. I was very happy for her, extremely happy for her, clapped for her, made sure that I checked in to see if everything was all good. But I noticed that she distanced herself once she got that job. And I'm very understanding when it comes to things like that. You know, we're in different phases of our lives, and shit changes and shit happens. But for you not to clap, come on. Anyway, so and she knew about me leaving the other position and how I left and how things wasn't the best. And nonetheless, I still left, and I bust my ass to get to where I was in the present moment. And that heaviness was just, the quietness was just very heavy. So I was just like, okay, another one that needs to be let go of, and I let it go. I digress. So I worked at the nursing home for 9 months, and lo and behold, someone actually had put in a word for me, or gave my resume to Lenox Hill Hospital, and they called me while I was on shift at the nursing home and gave me the option of 2 positions. And I said I would love to work on the children's unit because I was already working with children, and I was so excited. And I went for the interview. I got the job. I had a dope supervisor. She was cute. She was just dope. Even when I went for the interview, she was like, girl, sell yourself. I already got the word about you. Tell me about yourself. And I was so nervous, but she saw me, and I was really grateful for that. And I worked there. For quite some time. And I not only worked on the children's unit, which was my main unit, but I worked on labor and delivery. I worked in the NICU. I worked in the well baby nursery. I was in the postpartum unit. I was all over, and I loved it. I got so much experience. And then while I was working there, I decided to apply for other positions, and I wound up getting a call to work in Mount Sinai Hospital, to work with newborns, to do hearing screenings. Like, what I'm trying to say is I lived different versions of myself, and I'm just so grateful. And yes, this is a description through job positions, but it shows how much I've evolutionized myself. I've worked in the medical field, but in different subsectors of the medical field, and I worked with patients from birth up until death. I've worked around nothing but men. I have been through it, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I really did. I learned a lot, and now I'm in this phase of I do have a job, but it's not my identity anymore, and I'm damn good at my job, and it's my first time being in this kind of position. I'm a teacher. I just took a chance on myself and became a teacher, and I'm working with children that are months old to 17 years of age at the moment, and it's beautiful, but I'm more so witnessing my own evolution just through myself without the labels, and that's very profound for me. Very profound. I'm in awe with myself. I'm just here, man. And right now I'm doing a lot of resting. And as I rest, I don't know if this may resonate or not, but my cat, I have 3 cats, but my youngest cat, she has been sleeping with me lately, and she never does that, but she's really like my anchor when it comes to this awakening process. She curls up in the crevices of my body, and we sleep away, man. We sleep away. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair, because my locks are thick, so they are sticking up, looking crazy, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna do something with it and see where this goes, and keep grounding myself. Keep grounding myself during this awakening process. Because this is the big one. I haven't experienced anything bigger than this, but this is the big one. I haven't been able to really tend to my platforms, but I think that's a part of the process too, because rest is needed. I'm not with the hustle culture, and I'm also realizing that I'm still provided for. I'm abundant. I'm still provided for even when I rest. And some really grounded things have occurred. The power went out when I was teaching yesterday. I had a private student, and their gate was closed, and it's not a manual gate. It works with the electricity. So I couldn't leave, and I was there for 2 hours. And my student is 5 years old, and this little grown girl, she offered me snacks, and then she brought out a Thai version of Monopoly, and we played, and we had to use Google Translate because she's not reading quite yet in Thai, so we use Google Translate. It brought us closer together rather than just it be a standard teacher-student dynamic. And I was really present and grateful in the moment for that experience. I helped her count money, and she was like, "This is a lot of money." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you look at you counting it." She was so proud of herself. When she tried to read the Thai cards, and I would translate it with Google, and I was like, "You were right. You read it correctly." I was just affirming her so much, and I love to see her become excited and proud of herself. Her mother kept apologizing, and I was like, "It's okay. Like, we just go and make it work." The power actually went out when I was teaching her, and she pivoted so easily. She went and got her flashlight, and she continued on doing her work like nothing even happened. And I was like, "Look at you." Like, I was really impressed. Yeah, so I'm just grateful for all the little gifts. I want some big gifts, yes, but I'm really grateful for the little gifts. I'm grateful that I have the capacity to be so present in my everyday life. Even right now, I am so present recording this video. I'm nourishing myself in ways that doesn't require this 3D realm. Nursing myself back to health. And just loving life, and I'm also keeping my foot on niggas' necks. I damn sure am. I've put up boundaries, and I'm upholding them. And I'm watching in real time how my boundaries are affecting people, because those boundaries have required me to remove my presence and the access that people used to have to me. And I'm witnessing the shifts, and I'm being rewarded for that. I'm not out here to see people be down and out, but I'm the main character, and that's it. That's all. That's it. And I know that it's the right thing to do because I feel light when I do it. I don't feel this heaviness. And all in all, because I've been releasing so much, I have the capacity to do what's necessary for me. And my discernment has become even higher now because of this act of love towards self. I don't think, I've changed a belief that I had, that, like, I know karma comes regardless, but when you uphold boundaries, karma hits, and that's all you need to do. Like, yes, you can dish out karma to people, because people have to face consequences for what it is that they do. Like, people will, yes, you will face the consequence, point blank period. You don't have to actively do something to people. You just uphold the boundary based on the wrong that was done towards you, and the karma will be dished out. And yes, you do need to step back, because you will get entangled in a motherfucker's karma. I have been entangled in people's karma because of my people-pleasing tendencies in the past. And it's chaotic. And I don't thrive off of chaos anymore, because I'm not in survival mode. So this is what's happening right now. And I'm hungry, so I'm out. Thank you for listening to my congested self. And I will see you another time.